Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The U.S. House of Representatives Appropriations Committee has approved their fiscal year 2022. The chairman of the House Subcommittee on Agriculture, Food, and Drug Administration is Sanford Bishop of Georgia. He has been working hard to get some of the appropriations for peanuts. The first one was the peanut research for the aflatoxin study. The committee provides an additional $1.5 million above the fiscal year 2021 level to support research activities to mitigate aflatoxin contamination in peanuts. It's a mold that comes along just in naturally occurring, but they're trying to remove it all from peanuts with this research. Peanut nutrition research was also approved. They recognize the need for more research to identify how peanut consumption contributes to the overall health, wellness, and reduces chronic disease risk in various groups and across the lifespan. That project netted $1 million for the next year. It'll be on peanut nutrition research overall. In addition, the U.S. Peanut Federation has been working with the Peanut Institute to assure that peanuts are utilized as best possible in the various federal feeding programs across the country.
Peanut producers, fine-tune your farming operation with information gained at the 22nd Annual Southern Peanut Growers Conference set for July 15th through 17th at Edgewater Beach Resort in Panama City Beach, Florida. The 3-day event provides farmers with valuable information about peanut production, legislative issues, marketing, and promotions. The conference is presented by the Southern Peanut Farmers Federation. Visit southernpeanutfarmers.org for more information.
For more on today's news, we invite you to log on to our website, southeastagnet.com. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have some sunshine today, then turning cloudy with a thunderstorm this afternoon and a high of 84 to 86. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. Thursday and Friday both look for sunshine mixing with some clouds with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoons. High on Thursday 87 to 90, high on Friday 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Hi, this is Jack O'Brien, and I could tell you stories about Miss Melody. She created a small circular garden behind her home where she had a lovely view of the only par 5 on the Calizona Championship course. On this particular day, Miss Melody had discovered grubs big as her little finger under her camellia bushes. They were everywhere. She was so busy digging them up and sticking them in a pile in front of her that she wasn't aware she had a companion until she smelled him. She turned her head to the left, and there, beside her, sitting placidly on his plush bottom, was a 200-pound Florida black bear. Its beautiful fur was dense and shiny and black and auburn, except for his right foot that had a speck of white. Miss Melody thought about her situation for a split second, grabbed a grub and tossed it in front of the bear. The bear grabbed the grub, popped it into his mouth, and looked at Miss Melody, and so she did it again and again. Then he did a curious thing. He rested his head on her back, almost affectionately. She could feel the warmth of his breath on her neck, and it scared her. But suddenly, he stood and walked away, just like that. Now, the next day, at her regular medical checkup, Melody decided to tell the doctor about her new friend. "I had lunch with a bear yesterday, Dr. Parsons. I was minding my own business in my backyard, and a fully grown bear sat down next to me and stayed for lunch." Doc Parsons could tell she wasn't making this up. "You can't be serious. He was a perfect gentleman." "Look, Miss Melody, bears are curious, but they're usually afraid of people, and to have one approach you is very rare. Did he scratch you or try to bite you?" "No, he did not. I was only concerned that when he was sniffing at my back, it was just a bit disconcerting." "Well, that's interesting." "Yes, behind my head, sort of under my straw hat. It was really very sweet." "You know, a bear's nose is very sensitive. I think I want to take a look at your back." And that's how the doctor discovered the melanoma. Within a couple days, it was cut out, and tests showed that they got everything. That bear had saved Miss Melody's life. That's why when her neighbor Janet Castelli called her about the accident, she was devastated. The Castellis had been driving around Lake Weir on their way back home, and they saw that a bear had been hit and killed in front of a farm on the east side of the lake. She saw the Fish and Wildlife officer first, then the farmer, then a mound of black fur sprawled on the edge of the roadside ditch. She walked up to them and made a strange request. "Would you gentlemen check that bear's feet for a white mark, please? I'd like to know if I've seen it before." They obliged, knelt down, and held up a front paw with a bright patch of white. But it was the left paw, not the right. This was not Miss Melody's bear. But it was a brother or sister, most certainly. And Miss Melody was overcome with grief, and she cried right in front of those men who had no idea who on earth she was. She cried for her friend's loss. And again, that night at home, she cried, and she could not sleep. So she got up and walked to the window, and she saw the full moon in a cloudless Florida sky. And she looked down at her garden, at the dark shape moving in the shadows, and her tears went away. This is Jack O'Brien. Thanks for listening.
Like what you've just heard? I Could Tell You Stories with Jack O'Brien is brought to you by Brick City Digital. Hi, I'm Michael Warren, and at Brick City Digital Marketing, we believe every business has a great story to tell. Our job is to help your business tell your story in a way that brings more customers to your door. We help small businesses just like yours with web design, social media, SEO, video, and more. Visit us online at brickcity.com or call 352-351-1131 for a free consultation.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome. Hour 2. Ocala Talks program. American moms, because of the situation that is arose where one mother has to be a mom today to her 11-year-old whose birthday it is. And the other mom is with her son out in California at a Reopen America event. The American Mom Show will not be on the air today at 10:30. You will have an extra 30 minutes of me. I know you're looking forward to that. I'll probably try to get Joe Martone in here too so we can really rock it out. But just a little programming note that I wanted you to be aware of. Governor DeSantis, he's out and about all over the state promoting his new civics education program. He's also offering teachers $3,000 in bonuses. He touted the new $3,000 bonus program for teachers after vetoing civics literacy legislation just last month. He struck down the civics literacy legislation after the Board of Education complied with his demand and banned the teaching of so-called critical race theory. But the Orlando Charter School Tuesday, he was at Orlando Charter School Tuesday. He promoted the need for improved civic educations. He highlighted the $3,000 bonus program for teachers who complete training for a program called Florida Civic Seal of Excellence. He described the knowledge skills of many young people who in surveys struggle to correctly respond to questions about the nation's three branches of government, constitutional matters, and history. And I for one, know this to be very accurate. Just because I'm a nerd like that, every now and then I'll go to the downtown area here, and I need to start videoing this. But then people may shy away from it. I go down and I say, hey, mind if I ask you some questions? People are always, and I tell them, you hand them a card, say you're from the radio, and they say, yeah, that's fine. And I say, which branch of government is more powerful, the executive, the legislative, or the judiciary? And they go, well, what do you mean by executive, legislative, and judiciary? I go, which is more powerful, the president, Congress, or the Supreme Court? That may puts it in layman's terms. And almost every time I ask, people say the president. And that means you don't have a basic grasp of civics, because the president is not the most powerful. The answer is none of them are the most powerful. They all share equal billing. It's called checks and balances. Something that simple, that concept, where president can veto laws made by Congress. Congress can then override the president's veto, and the Supreme Court can strike down laws as being unconstitutional. They also preside over if the president gets impeached. It's a big game of rock, paper, scissors. But the average person that I ask on the street doesn't have a grasp of that. Most people know that Kent Gwynn is the mayor of Ocala. I've asked this question numerous times. Who's the mayor of Ocala? They know. Who's the president of the city council? Who's the mayor of Ocala? Kent Gwynn. Who's the president of the city council? Right now it's Justin Graybell. He is the president of the city council. But I would venture to say most people, unless they're very in tuned to local government, don't know that Justin Graybell, Matt Wardell, Brent Molliver, Iria Bethea, and Jay Musley are the city council. Probably don't know that Jeff Gold is the chairman of the county commission. That also has Kathy Bryant, Michelle Stone, Craig Curry, and Carl Zalek. Now, I know that because it's my job. But the average citizen should know that too, because these are the people that are making decisions that impact your day-to-day life. So that's what the governor's saying, is we need to get a knowledge skill for many young people who in surveys struggle to correctly respond to questions about the nation's three branches of government, constitutional matters, and history. He said, the understanding of many students is pretty doggone dismal. That was the governor saying that. We got to do better. And he's right. You ask people, people know the 4th of July, okay? They know the 4th of July. They just do. People know the 4th of July is Independence Day because it's been so hyped as a party day, okay? Has. But people don't know that the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month was Armistice Day, which we now call Veterans Day. Well, they're both equally important in my mind, and yet people don't know it. If I said, if I came to people, excuse me, if I came to people and said, give me the opening salvo of the Declaration of Independence. Well, it's the unanimous declaration of the state with the states of America. It says, why can't I remember? It says, when in the course of human events, that's how it starts. Well, then if you hear, we the people in order to form a more perfect union, people go, oh, that's the Declaration of Independence. No, that's the preamble to the Constitution. But a large group of people do not know that, can't differentiate between the two. And that's what Governor DeSantis is saying needs to be corrected. The state's going to pour $106 million into improving civics education, the biggest share of it, $65 million, being for the teachers' bonus program. The money that they're getting is from the Federal CARES Act, approved last year to help states deal with economic ravages of COVID-19. The remainder of those dollars will go towards developing curriculum, professional development, classroom support, and new partnerships between high school and government institutions where students can gain firsthand experience. I remember when I was in high school here, the state would send people to individual high schools to talk to you about being pages during the summer. I don't know if that still happens. I don't teach high school here. I haven't taught here. 622-9622 is the number to call. Does the legislature still send people to high schools to explain to people about possibility of being pages during the summertime? I don't know. You tell me, 622-9622, because I would like to know the answer to that. We're going to take a break. Coming up next, more on Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Ugh,
what wrong?
need wood for fire.
I go get. I got wood for fire.
What takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
My bad. You wash hands?
Of course. What caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike's Got Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888. Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what's